everybody, and welcome back once again for another edition of the Happy Camper Radio Show, the only place to be when you're ready to talk camping. Camping is what we're about. Camping is all we talk about. It's episode 201, and on today's program, we are bringing back, and we are happy to bring back our good friend, Darren Kirby, fellow camper, book author, and very good friend. He has a brand new book out called Tinfoil Recipes. Daniel, I know you've got an appetite on you, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. You've got a copy of the book. I've got a copy of the book. And we are going camping this weekend.
Woo!
And we're going to have some tinfoil recipe desserts, dinners, breakfast, lunches, you name it. We're going to be talking with Darren on today's edition of Happy Camper Radio. Stick around for it.
Happy Camper Radio.
And, of course, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store and Podbean, Myro Guide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and now on Spotify. Tell all your friends to tune in to Happy Camper Radio today. You can get in touch with us here at the show by calling 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. Leave us a voicemail if you have a camping question, if you would like to get on the program. Daniel and I, Darren and Daniel, you know, I'll tell you what, here we go. It's going to be one of those days, Daniel.
Yep.
I'm going to be calling you Darren here throughout the rest of the program. You know, and Darren's going to enjoy that, though. But, hey, get in touch with me. Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. If you'd like to be on the program, Daniel and I would love to talk with you. Daniel, let's go to the shout-out window. We've got a few folks here we want to say hello to, starting with John Pumphrey, who likes us on Facebook, to Steve, Keith Foskett of West Sussex, England.
Oh,
They're
he's on,
following
wait. He's on Stories from the Trail. He's his trail name is Fozzie. He's from England. He's done
Fozzie?
a bunch of, we're going to have to get him on the show. I'll talk to him.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Now, is he a hiker?
He is a big hiker.
Okay. Have you actually talked with him before?
I have.
Wow.
Yep.
And you are on that program periodically, aren't you?
I
Stories
am.
from the Trail with our good friend Gary Sizer.
Yep.
And that's a wonderful podcast, too. And incidentally, and we'll go ahead and cut in here and talk about that for just a second. If you are interested in listening to Stories from the Trail, go to happycamperradio.com, and there's a link to it right there on the homepage. But, yeah, hello to Keith. Would like to have you on the program. And finally, to Mark Harmon, who subscribes to us on our YouTube channel. Thank you all so very much. We're so happy to have each and every one of you as followers to the show. More importantly, thank you for being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Daniel, our camping trip is just days away.
Yep.
Are you packed and ready?
Not yet.
Not either am I.
Well,
So we're getting excited about it.
we're leaving Friday morning, so, you know, and I know you took off Thursday, and you're going to be bringing most of it. All we're bringing is tents or our tent and clothes and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, and you know, Daniel, that is still a little bit of a concern because I've got to call those folks up. I know this is a walk-in site.
Mm-hmm.
I have no objections to that because we're camping by the lake.
Right.
And I'm going to have some pictures. I'm going to shoot some video. I'm going to do something.
There you go.
Because you know, I'm just going to go up there for a few days and relax, something I really haven't done in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited about that, and I'm sure you are too. But you're coming up with me, and your better half is showing up later on.
That's right.
And again, we're going to be camping at, Daniel,
Fort Yargo State Park.
and that's in Barrow County, Georgia, which is about 45 minutes away from our studio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nice getaway. If anybody in the metro Atlanta area, our listeners, want to join us, make your reservations up here, Fort Yargo State Park, this coming weekend. And you're definitely going to run to Daniel and I. Daniel and I are going to be doing our show from up there. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Even if we're under our umbrellas, right?
It says 40% right now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
optimistic.
Daniel, hey, what did I just tell you before we click the microphone off? If I'm going camping, it's going to rain.
Scattered showers. You never know.
Yeah,
It's
scattered
5-10
showers.
minutes. 5-10 minutes. I'm optimistic.
Yeah,
Skip.
the rain gods are floating above the sky and saying, "Oh, is Skip down there? Hey, let it loose."
We'll see.
Yeah, but hey, it's not the first time I got washed out. Won't be the last. But I had the tent up last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I just had to bring it out and set it up.
There you go.
All right, and, you know, just to step inside of it. I haven't done that in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to be hauling that in there. But I'm a little concerned because, we have a walk-in site where it's like 85 feet from the road
Mm-hmm.
where we actually got to bring our gear. And hopefully I'll be able to back my truck in there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And we got hand trucks. If not, we'll make it work.
Yeah, one way or the other.
That's why they call it roughing it.
And one of the most important things we have to do is plan our menu.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Daniel, we can go the most elaborate way possible, or we could actually go the simple way,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a very good reason to do it the simple way.
We do.
Because our good friend Darren Kirby, who has a number of books out, he just now released a new one called Tin Foil Recipes. And he was so kind to send you and I a copy. Have you had an opportunity to look through it?
I did look through it. I can't wait to try some of these. These look really good because it's funny. It's funny I got this because I remember when I was a kid and we'd go camping. We'd go down to FDR State Park, and the first night we would always have, I think they called it like a hobo meal. Basically, it was like a hamburger with carrots, onions, and like bell peppers and like some butter, and just wrapped up in the tin foil and then put over the fire and melted. And oh man, it was so good. And it seemed like a tradition. The first night we'd go camping, we'd make that. So I can't wait to try other tinfoil stuff. That's really the only thing I've ever tried. So I'm kind of excited about this.
Well, I'm really tempted to actually, since we're only going to be gone for a few days,
Right.
is I have been going through Darren's new book, page by page, and the last time I flipped through it, I just got finished eating dinner, and I still had an appetite.
Yeah.
I swear, Daniel, it's just a wonderful book, and lots of good recipes. I think what we need to do is you and I need to sit down with our books, and we're going to go through it, and we're going to decide what we're going to have. And I think all I need to do after we get the food is to just get a couple big old containers of tinfoil.
There you go.
And we'll be good to go. Mm-hmm. But Darren is here to talk with us today about tinfoil recipes. Let's get him on the phone right now. Darren, welcome back to the program.
Well, thanks for having me back, Skip. I appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Darren, let me tell you something. I have been reading your books, and this latest one that you have out right now called Tinfoil Recipes, I believe is over the top. I have your book in front of me here, and for the past couple days, I have been going through it, and just about every single page, every recipe that I have read is so mouthwatering. I've got to ask you this. Where do you come up with all these good recipes?
Oh, that's a great question. And I've been asked this question a lot, both not only about the tinfoil recipe book, which is new, but the other two recipe books as well. And I can't take full credit on all of this. As you see in the very front of the book, I'm just the compiler of these. These recipes come from all over the place. And some of them, in some cases, actually come from other countries as well, which really surprised me for the different ingredients that are used all over the world for this stuff. So it's just amazing what's out there.
I one of the things I'm thinking about, as I'm reading the book here, and I am putting myself in place of every camping trip that I have ever been on, and I bring everything but the kitchen sink with me. I'm talking pots and pans, grills, griddles, you name it. But in this particular case, for someone who is going camping, they really don't need to bring all that stuff with them. If they want to go and just bring their tent, and all they really need to do is pack the cooler with the items that they need to cook and have a box of tinfoil, because they're going to have with them a campfire wherever they go. And that's pretty much all they need, correct?
You're absolutely correct. It used to a lot of times people will think, oh, I need to bring all of this different stuff to cook my meals. And with this recipe book, all of that gets thrown out the window, just like you say. You really only need a box or two of tinfoil to bring with you, and you can cook everything that you want to eat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even some of those tasty desserts, all over the campfire, in tinfoil, And the cleanup is easy. So you're packing in light, you're packing out, light. It doesn't get much better than that.
Right. And one of the things I've got to ask you here, and I think this is very important, especially when you're cooking with tin foil. For folks that want to get the book, when you look through all the recipes that are there, is it important to put butter or cooking oil or something to grease down the aluminum foil before you wrap up your ingredients in there and place it on the fire? Because we know that food has a tendency to stick to stuff. And I've had that problem here at home, so I'm just wondering what it's going to be like when you're out in the field and you're cooking over a campfire.
A lot of times, just plain butter will do nicely to put in, a pat or two of butter within all the ingredients that you're putting in your aluminum foil packet. In some cases, you can use different oils, like if you use an olive oil or a coconut oil that you prefer. Those, again, will work very, very well for that. But yeah, you do want some sort of grease to kind of keep things from being all stuck to your tinfoil, for sure.
Yeah, and for the folks that are going to be going camping, you can either bring your tin aluminum plates or whatever you're bringing, and your paper plates, whatever works for you. And in fact, one of your other books that I have here in front of me, which is the best 10 camping guide from novice to expert. I know you talk a lot about in there from somebody just getting started. If they want to go ahead and buy some of this stuff at a local thrift store, you can go ahead and do that. But, whatever, you're going to have something to eat on. So whether it's going to be tin or paper plates or whatever the case may be, you definitely want to have that along too. But basically, all you're going to really need is a good package of tin foil and a good campfire to get your product heated up, correct?
Absolutely correct, yes.
All right. Now, I'm looking here, and I'm just thumbing through the book right now. I'm here on page number 13. We're talking about foil pack sausage breakfast. Darren, my mouth is watering already. And it's evening. I mean, we're talking breakfast here, but look at some of the good ingredients here. All you got to do is get this book and browse through it. Plan your breakfast, lunch, and dinner based upon some of the recipes that you find in this book, and you're going to be set to go. I don't care how many days you're going to be going camping. Now, in this particular recipe here, we're talking about 1 pound of ground pork sausage, 4 eggs, 4 cups of frozen hash brown potatoes, and salt and pepper. Now, is this going to be enough for one meal, or if you're serving, say, maybe 4 people at the camp, should you multiply that?
Yeah, I think if you're going to be substituting or supplementing this with something else, then this might be enough. But if this is your meal for 3 or 4 people, you may want to double up on this. And that's the beauty of these recipes, is that really you can and you should adjust these to what you need and even to what your tastes are. And you'll notice, especially on that particular recipe, on that page, there's some space underneath there for you to add extra notes. So when you make this, if you realize, oh man, if there's a way that I could add this other ingredient, I want to add maybe some onions, or I wanted to add some cheese on top at the end, or something like that, you've got a place to write those notes so that you always have those alternatives that really hit the spot for you in your recipe book.
So, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit as to what you can do.
Oh, yeah, it really is. I look at these books really kind of as a framework for people to get out there and experiment a little more. This is kind of the fun part of camping, is not only cooking over the fire, but experimenting a little bit. Have a little fun with it.
Yeah, now here's another recipe I'm looking at on page 45. And, throw the diet out the window, folks. When you're going camping, and you're going to really eat. You're going to have a great time wherever you go and whatever you do. This is going to be grilled foil pack cheesy fries, right up my alley. And this is probably going to be for me, in addition to whatever else I'm going to be cooking over the fire. But we're here talking about 1 bag of 14-ounce frozen crinkle-cut French fries, 1 tablespoon of butter melted, 4 slices of American cheese, 2 tablespoons of sliced green onions, if you're an onion person, which I am not, or you can add the 2 tablespoons of cooked real bacon bits. So imagine yourself being out, say, maybe at a TGI Fridays or an Applebee's or someplace where you're going to be eating this, but you're going to be enjoying it right by the campfire and wrapping this up in tinfoil and cooking it up. Now, I've noticed just about on every page here, it tells you how long you should be cooking this over an open flame. Is this going to be food that's going to be cooked directly over top of the flame or off to the side, Darren?
You'll want to do this a little bit off to the side if you're doing flames. If you've got some coals, kind of the same principle follows. You don't want it necessarily directly on the coals because you'll end up cooking a little too fast for some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just every single page of this book right here. This is all you really need if you're going camping. I don't care if you have 2 people in your party, 5 or 6 people in your party. If you want to go camping and you want to cook over top of an open flame or off to the side like we're talking about right now, just pick up Darren's book and you can go through it and look at all these very tasty recipes and just go from there. It will really make your camping experience one that you will never forget. And like you say, Darren, in tinfoil recipes, you've got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and desserts. Now, I haven't even been to the dessert page yet, but I'm browsing through that right now. Here we go. Apples by the fire. 4 Granny Smith apples. I haven't heard of Granny Smith apples in a long time. And we're talking about 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Add that to your recipe. Add that to your dinner. And folks, believe me, you will have a wonderful experience camping wherever you go. Darren, this is an absolute wonderful book. Darren, where can folks go to pick up your latest book, which is called Tinfoil Recipes?
They could go right to my website, darrenkirby.com, and I've got links to where the book is. Otherwise, it's easily found on Amazon.com as well.
Okay, great. And that's where folks can go right now to order the latest copy of your book. And Darren, I can't tell you how excited I am to have you back on the program. And I don't believe this is going to be the latest book, or should I say the last book that you're going to publish, because every single one of them that you have done so far, you are into camping probably a little more than I am in some aspects. But, I'm hoping to really run into you out there, out in the field someday. And when that happens, I'm going to cook you up a wonderful dinner based upon one of the recipes in your book. And I'll probably have it mastered by then, too. So, if I'm cooking over an open flame or putting the tinfoil recipe off to the side, I know you and your better half are going to probably have one of the greatest meals that you had in a lifetime while you're out there camping. Darren, thank you so very much for being on the show again. We'll be talking to you again soon.
Thanks again, Skip. I appreciate it.
Okay, Daniel, get your box of tinfoil ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, I don't think you're ready like I am. But you know something? Here's a meal for you, Daniel. From page 37 in the book. Easy hobo tinfoil dinner recipe.
I'm listening.
Oh, yeah. Check out some of these ingredients. Okay, you need a pound of ground beef.
Okay.
4 potatoes peeled and cubed. 2 cups of carrot, thinly sliced. 1 onion diced. That's off the menu for me. Daniel, I can smell an onion a mile away. No.
Come on, Skip. No. We're in Georgia, Valdalia. Everyone loves Valdalia onions.
Yeah, do you see how far we live away from Valdosta?
I see, Valdalia is not Valdosta, but it's off of 75. But I see more Valdalia onions than peaches. All these people, I want to tell everyone around the country and the world that Georgia is not the peach state. They call it the peach state, but it's not. The peach state is South Carolina. If you ever travel up and down 85, they've got a big old peach. And if you ever watched, what's that show? That Netflix show with Kevin Spacey? I forgot what it's called.
It's a comedy, so I don't watch it.
No, it's not a comedy. It's House of Cards. House of Cards.
Okay.
That's where he was the congressperson from, and they show the peach there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Georgia is peanuts and onions. We have
Daniel, we're going to keep onions out of this conversation for a moment. You can go ahead and put the 1 onion diced in your tinfoil.
Definitely.
Okay,
Valdalia onion.
Yeah, but I'll add the salt and pepper to taste, the Worcestershire sauce, the barbecue sauce, and the shredded cheddar cheese.
Mm.
You mix all that together, Daniel. Put that in a nice tin foil. And like Darren says, you can experiment. You can take some of these ingredients out. You can add some of your own in, whatever suits your taste. There's no right way and wrong way about it.
I think everything but the cheese is what I used to make when I was a kid. When I was talking about earlier.
You didn't have mac and cheese when you were a kid?
No, I didn't put the cheese. Well, my parents didn't put the cheese in the tin foil when we heated it up. But everything you said sounds straight on.
Yeah. So, and that would be an easy Daniel hobo tinfoil dinner recipe.
There we go.
But hey, that's just one of many in this book. And folks, like Darren says, all you got to do is go to his website, darrenkirby.com, or you can actually look this up on Amazon. It's Tinfoil Recipes. It's a great book for you to have if you plan on going camping this year, anytime this year. Want to get this book here in your hands before you head on out. And Darren has a couple other books there you might want to check out too. The Best Tent Camping Guide from Novice to Expert. And we also had him on too when he did pie iron recipes. So there's a lot of good menus out there if you're ever in a situation where you're getting ready to go camping and you're getting ready to go to the grocery store and you're saying to yourself, wow, what are we going to have? Let's have something different. Not the same old traditional stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what these books are for. This is why you want that book in your hand. Tinfoil Recipes. It makes cleanup a snap. And Daniel, I am so looking forward to this coming weekend, and I guarantee you one or two of these menus out of the book here are going to be on the picnic table, heated up from the fire, provided we don't get rained out. Because I'm going to tell you, Daniel, I just can't help to think, we start a campfire, the rain comes down, it washes out the fire. There goes our tinfoil recipe dinners. All right, but let's not try to think that way. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go ahead and try to be positive this coming weekend.
Good,
but I'm going to keep it on an upbeat note. And like we say, we're going to be doing episode 203 or 202 up there.
202.
202, yes, from Fort Yargo State Park in Georgia. And that's where Daniel and I are going to be camping this coming weekend. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
Daniel, this week we're going to take you to the state of Missouri. To Berry Bend. It's part of the Harry S. Truman Lake. Daniel, take a look at some of the photographs on their website. It draws you right on in. If you happen to be passing through Missouri, if you have some relatives out there and you want to go camping and you just want to get away, this would be a great camping destination for you and the family. Berry Bend Campground sits on the shores of Harry S. Truman Lake in the hills of western Missouri. Visitors enjoy fishing, hunting, swimming, and boating. It's all a wonderful atmosphere to be in, and you can visit this place year-round. It is a year-round campground and offers 2 loops. Now, B Loop consists of 8 campsites. B1 is a primitive site, and that's where you'll find me. And the rest are very spacious with full hookups, including 50-amp electricity, water, and sewer. The Berry Bend area is an excellent location for fishing. Anglers find crappie, largemouth bass, and blue and flathead catfish. Truman Lake is also a popular destination for tournament fishing. Several miles of trails are available for hikers just like yourself, Daniel, and horses within Berry Bend. The park trail is a 2.5-mile trail. That's a great hike for beginners. I want to consider myself a beginner because I don't really get out all that much. And those wanting to explore the area, the Western Trail traverses many steep ridges and valleys, while the East Trail is somewhat more level and overlooks the lake in several areas. You want to check this all out on their website, and I'm going to have a link for it all week long on Happy Camper Radio. You just click on the Featured Campground tab, and there it will be. Check out some of the wonderful pictures here on the sites. The rates are anywhere from $14 to $24 a night. Very, very inexpensive, and it's a very spacious campground. And like you and I this weekend, we're going to be camping by the lake, and that's where you would want to be camping if you ever make it into the state of Missouri and visit Berry Bend. If by chance you haven't already signed up for a recreation.gov account, here's your opportunity to do so. When you click onto the website, look for the blue button in the upper right-hand corner that says Sign Up. It makes your reservation process go so much smoother anytime you use a recreation.gov account when you're booking a recreation.gov campground. But this is a wonderful campground that I would love to visit someday if I ever get back to the state of Missouri. I have been there before. Don't know when I'm going to get there again, but if I do, I'm going to keep this place in mind. It's Berry Bend. It is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel. HappyCamperRadio.com.
And if you have a campground that you would like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at HappyCamperRadio.com. Be sure to include a link to the campground website. Daniel, we bringing Fitz this weekend?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, well then I'll leave Sadie behind.
Okay.
Okay. No, I love your little puppy
Maybe.
dog.
I don't know. I haven't even thought about that. That's a good question.
Hey, why not?
Why
Why
not?
not take your pet with you?
All right.
Now, of course,
Well,
we have Betty Crocker
I'm
here at
in
the
a
house, so she
two-person
can keep an eye on Sadie,
Right.
your buddy, and we can have Fitz along this time. Maybe we'll take Sadie the next time. But hey, pets are part of the family. We definitely want to take our pets with us
Yep.
when we go camping, if at all possible. The only reason we're not going to bring two pets is because your little dog and my big dog are two of the opposites. And,
Yes.
and besides the fact we're going to be camping on the same campsite by the lake, let's just go ahead and we'll do one pet at a time this time. Okay. But anyway, hey, thank you folks for being with us here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. It's always a pleasure having you along. And next week, Daniel and I are going to be at Fort Yargo State Park in the state of Georgia. We are so looking forward to camping. Hope everything works out weather-wise. And we'll be up there to talk all about it on our next edition of Happy Camper Radio. Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Cam Talker, add us to Circles on Google+, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper.
Woo!
And you better believe it, folks. We're going to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. This is Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.